All right, well, that answers that question. All right, let's
I think
deal
it's me.
with,
We should be
Mr.
good.
Levin. Is he outside?
Yes.
All right, can you have him come in? And I don't see any reason why Relly can't. Now, do you?
I mean, I think technically, obviously, we're going to be asking questions that go to this area. If council, I don't have a problem with being here. If council has an objection, I think we'd be well.
Do you see any reason why you can't be in here? Well, I'm going to be talking now about Levin and Phillips, so I'm not talking anymore.
I don't think he should be in here.
If you don't think he should be in here, then he's,
And I don't think Levin should be in here after you've done with the meeting.
he doesn't need to be. I just, are you Mr. Levin?
I am.
What's your first name, Mr. Levin?
Lewis, L-O-U-I-S.
Deputy Bennett, could you give him a piece of paper? On the piece of paper, I want you to write your birthday down.
Yes.
I don't want you to say it in open court because this is being recorded and, you know, the public doesn't need to know what your birthday is.
Thank you.
Once you write down your birthday on the piece of paper, give it to Deputy Bennett. Deputy
Here we
Bennett,
go.
give it to the prosecutors and they can investigate it.
No, Relly's he's gonna be there.
Have you done that?
I have.
All right, Mr. Levin, the prosecutors, they want the opportunity to interview you before you take the stand. It's optional. You can agree to do it, or you can refuse to do it. It's just totally up to you. Were you advised of this?
No.
All right. These are the prosecutors, and they just want to explore what you have to offer in this case. Are you willing to be interviewed by them?
No.
All right. Step up here.
Mayor, can witness be advised that the failure to...
Oh, yeah. I just want you to know, and Relly will be told the same thing. By refusing, this can be brought out on cross-examination that you refused to be interviewed by the prosecution, which could impact your credibility. But that's totally your
They don't
decision.
care.
If you don't want to talk to the prosecutors, you don't have to. If you agree to, you can. But I just want you to know of the consequences.
I understand that.
You still don't want to speak with them?
Correct.
All right.
I'm assuming he can give an answer as to why he doesn't want to. Correct.
Yeah, well, if he's asked?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
of course. If he's asked, if he's confronted with, isn't it true that we wanted to speak to you and you refused, he'll say yes. And then the prosecution asks, or you can ask, why did you refuse? Sure. If it's touched on direct, it can be touched on, if it's touched on cross-examination, you can touch on it on redirect. All right, step out, please.
Thank you.
What about Phillips?
Your Honor, before you go on, Mr. Phillips, we still do not have, council has never provided the date of the interview with him.
That's ASAP Rocky's manager, by the way,
How many there were?
or the tour manager.
I have things in a certain order. What about Phillips?
Sure.
Where is Phillips?
He's in
He's in New York?
He's in New York. But we contacted him and alerted him to the fact.
Okay,
that you're on
call. Can you call him?
Sure.
Taking that yard.
Did you get the birth date on Mr. Levin?
Yes.
Okay. What is Phillips' first name?
Jamel.
Jamal.
Jamel?
J-A-M-E-L.
Can you put are you able to put on speakerphone?
Yeah, yes. All right, Your Honor, Mr. Phillips is here on speakerphone.
All right. Mr. Jamel Phillips?
Hello, how you doing?
All right. Kathy, can you hear? All right, Mr. Phillips, I'm the judge in the case. You're aware of the case, yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Two things I want to inquire of you. At some point, you're going to be coming to court to testify. You're aware of that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The prosecution would like the opportunity to interview you before you take the stand, just to find out what you have to offer and what you have to say.
He said,
It's optional with you. You can either
Nope.
agree to be interviewed or you can refuse. Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this?
Yes, sir.
All right.
ASAP Rocky's out on $550,000 bail.
No, I do not want to be interviewed.
All right. I want you to know, though, if you refuse, then the jury is going to know that you refuse to be interviewed by the prosecution, and it could impact your believability or credibility in the eyes of the jury. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have you taken off speakerphone, and the phone is going to be given to the bailiff. Mr. Phillips, I want you to give your birth date to the bailiff. No one is going to be able to hear it except her. She's going to write down your birth date, and she's going to give it to the prosecution, because the prosecution is entitled to at least look into your background, and part of that is required that you give your birth date. But it is not going to be broadcasted or publicized in any way.
Your Honor, the court also inquires whether or not he has a residence outside of New York, or has had a residence outside of New York.
Do you live here in California?
No.
Do you have a residence here in California?
No, not in my name. No.
Not what?
No.
Do you have a residence anywhere beside New York?
No.
All right, so when you were out here, were you just visiting?
Yes.
Okay. All right, go ahead and take it off speakerphone. All right, and Deputy Bennett, let him know when he's off speakerphone, and then have him give you the birthday. Do you want him on like 24-hour call or is that handled? Say again?
We'll handle it.
Yeah, can't be giving out people's
All right,
birthdays.
birthday?
Ooh.
All right, getting back to Mr. Levin, since he's being called as a witness, how many times has he been interviewed by anybody from your office?
Twice, Your Honor.
Okay, when was the first time?
Mid-August, Your Honor.
24?
24.
And where did the interview take place?
In our office in Hackett.
Was the interview recorded in any way?
It was not.
Who was present for the interview?
Mrs. Takina and Ms. Lanzoni, along with myself.
How long did the interview last?
I'm trying to recall, Your Honor. About an hour.
Oh no, y'all said.
Hour and a half. And nobody took notes or prepared a written statement as to what Mr. Levin said?
No, Your Honor, it was a conversation.
I had said that the people are entitled to at least know the sum and substance. Since there's no written recording of what happened, the people are entitled to
Talk to
know
him,
the sum and
Judge.
substance of your conversation. So that is to be generated today.
We did that, Your Honor. We provided it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the court trial. If the court recalls, Your Honor, the court made an order that they were supposed to turn over the discovery.
Did they?
Well, what we originally got was, we got a paragraph saying he was going to talk about his observations, not what the observations were. The day before we started trial on the 20th, we got approximately a 15-line summary that certainly would not take an hour and a half. No dates as to when the interview occurred. Nothing about who was there. By the way, even now, what they're just told the court is, there's an interview in mid-August. They can't even say what date it was. And what they gave us was simply, apparently, a
Right.
combination
What's
of
the date?
everything he said.
I know you know what date it is, so what's the date?
It would have been August 16th or 17th. Your Honor.
All right. When was the second time you interviewed him?
Okay, thank y'all for letting me
No,
know.
not about. When was the second time?
Or of course, I'd like you to have questions to deal with too, right? On this. I mean, we have the same issues with some of their witnesses, right?
All right. Well, let's deal with this, and then I'll listen to what you have to say. All right. When was the second time?
It was the 26th, Your Honor.
So 10 days later?
No.
No, 2 days ago, January 26th.
Oh. Where did that interview take place?
That was at our hotel.
How long did that interview take?
Yeah, about the same amount of time, Your Honor, an hour and a half.
So, was that interview recorded in any way?
And it looks like so far, I asked y'all in the chat, should the defense produce the prop gun? Most of you say yes.
The court's aware, on the 20th, the court expressed skepticism, on the 15th, the court expressed skepticism that the defense did not record it, did not write anything down, did not have any substance as to what was said.
Right.
So apparently, after the court gave that lecture, they conduct another interview 2 days ago, where again, they don't record it, they don't make any notes about it, and they don't turn anything over.
They're not required to. If they choose to do their job that way, then they do their job that way.
They are required to let us know.
Is
that
it
they
well?
interviewed the defendant, or the witness.
Yeah.
They have to let us know that interview took place, when it took place, who was there. It appears, again, I'm not going to pull punches. It's very clear.
Boy, they're
So
scrambling,
what do you
man.
suggest?
Well, what I suggest is I find it completely disingenuous that we have 3 hours now worth of interviews. We got a total of about 15 lines. Very little detail about what's going on. And so if all of a sudden he ends up testifying to more detail than he gave, and the court already has because we've sent it, if he ends up testifying to more detail than what he has previously provided in this miniaturized summary, then we got a discovery violation.
Are you? Who's going to be a question? Is that you?
I will, Your Honor.
All right. Are you going to be going into any subjects or areas that are not covered in what you gave to the prosecution?
Nope.
So
Why would he do that?
there is nothing that you are going to ask about that does not fall within the summary.
That's correct.
Correct. Okay. Then I think there's been I think discovery's been satisfied.
Well, at least this point,
Right.
we can't demonstrate the discovery's not been satisfied because he has.
This is tough, man.
Does the court really believe?
Prosecution is struggling.
I don't.
I have. This is not the first time I've been aware that lawyers
Many
don't
left.
take notes of interviews. If Mr. Siegel represents to me that no notes were taken, or Mr. Tacopina represents to me that no notes were taken, I have no basis to disbelieve it. Would I do it that way? No. But if they choose to do it that way, that's their choice. He told you, Mr. Siegel just told you, that any topic that's going to be inquired about is in the summary that you've got. So for now, discovery has been complied with.